beautiful shot. Wonderful shot down the ground, this time from Charlotte Edwards.
That will be 50 for the England captain. There it is. England retain the Ashes. It's the skipper.
My earliest cricket memories are in the back garden. I lived on a potato farm in a very small place in England called Pidley in Cambridgeshire, and my dad was a farmer and had an older brother, and we used to play cricket for hours on end. You know, there wasn't girls' cricket then. I really wasn't aware of women's cricket. It was all male cricket and watching male role models on the TV. But my passion for the game was just massive, and I wanted to pursue cricket. I played with lots of boys and boys teams, and boys and men's cricket was probably some of the hardest cricket I played growing up, I think. But it was a godsend really that I played it, because it prepared me to play international cricket. I think being judged from the age of 11 every time you walked out to the pitch, whether you were going to score runs, whether you should even be there, was yeah, it was hard. But thankfully I got sort of spotted playing boys cricket at the age of 12, and a guy called Mick Dunn was walking around the boundary and he spotted me, and he said, "This girl's going to play for England," and the rest was history really. I remember the phone call I got. I was in the garden and my mum rang and said there was some lady on the phone for me, and I ran in, and the then chairwoman of selectors, Anne Gordon, said, "You're playing for England next week against New Zealand at Guildford." And I remember just coming off the phone and just jumping up and down. My mum started crying, and I was just excited, and I felt then I was ready to play international cricket, because I had such good experiences up until that point, and it was a great day. I think I always knew that I wanted to captain England. I think I was really lucky to sort of get it, 9 years after I started playing. So when I was 25, I was surprised to get it at that point, because Claire Connor was injured, so I had it on a sort of interim basis, and then 6 months later she decided to retire, and then I was handed the job full time, which I think it was probably one of my proudest moments. I think captaincy has always been a real passion of mine, and to captain England is the greatest honour.
And it is all over. England are the ICC Women's World Cup champions for 2009 here at the North Sydney Oval.
Probably the most successful year for me as captain, to win a World Cup in Australia 50 over, and then T20 World Cup in England at Lord's, and to win the Ashes as well. I mean, that's unprecedented really in the women's game. So it was a really memorable year. We went to Australia. I think Australia were definitely the favourites playing at home, but it was just an unbelievable sort of World Cup in Sydney, and to lift the trophy in Sydney was without doubt the highlight of my career.
Brings the last spare. You can expect something like that to happen. So England have won the World Cup.
That is absolutely amazing. What a performance by Anja Shrubsole.
Only 2 years ago, the team, won the World Cup at Lord's, and without doubt would be one of the best days for the women's game in this country. To see a packed Lord's, watching England lift the World Cup, I think would be one of my proudest moments, apart from playing. So there's a big World Cup coming up in Australia in March, and I think they'd definitely be up there as the favourites to win that. Australia on home soil, but I'm sure this Australian team will be very nervous of England and what they could achieve. I couldn't have believed how easy it was to transition out of the game. Anyone that knows me well, I played international cricket for 20 years. I loved the game, and I thought it was going to be the hardest decision ever to stop playing, but it was actually the easiest decision because of all the opportunities I've had since I've stopped playing, and whether it be coaching at a school level, being involved here with the Southern Vipers or with the England Academy. I mean, I just love it, and I've enjoyed, and I'm enjoying life after cricket, which I'm really pleased to say. Trying to engage as many young girls to play the game is something I'm really passionate about. Getting into schools, raising the profile of women's cricket is something that I've always enjoyed. The interest now within women's sport is huge, not just in England but globally, and I don't think anyone could have predicted the success all the teams have had, and certainly individuals as well. So we're in a really, really good place, and certainly women's cricket is, and I can't wait to see what the next sort of 5 years holds really for the game. Now, all England's games now are always televised, and I think that certainly helps in promoting the game, and people getting to see these big moments within women's cricket. The recent Ashes series, the World Cup in 2017. It's enormous for the game to keep, to keep in the media spotlight, and for young girls and boys to watch the games is crucial. Cricket was my life, 24/7, just loved it, and still do if I'm honest. But yeah, it was very much my life, and I'm happy to say that as well, because I don't think I would have had the success I had I not have been 100% committed to it. Don't get me wrong, now it's over, I am enjoying sort of being out of that bubble, and certainly the playing bubble as well. But it was a wonderful time I had within the game, and I think one of my proudest moments is coming out of the game, and the game being in a much better place than when I started the game.